Hey y'all! Today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free churro cupcakes. They make it easy to get all the flavors of a churro without the actual frying. They start with a cinnamon sugar crusted cupcake and are topped with a cinnamon American buttercream, but there's a surprise inside, a Mexican chocolate ganache, just to give that churrosy chocolate vibe. I'm taking it back to my 9th grade Spanish class, y'all. Let's get into it and I'll show you how to make them. To make the cake part of these cupcakes, I'll start by putting 3/4 cup or 170 grams of softened butter in my mixing bowl. You can also do this with a handheld mixer too, y'all. And then I'll add in the sugar, which is 1.5 cups or 300 grams. And we'll just give this a quick mix. It doesn't need to be a long mix, maybe just a minute or two, just until they're creamed together. Okay, that looks good. I'll add 3 eggs, one at a time, also at room temperature. I can't stress enough, y'all, that everything, all your ingredients need to be at room temperature because they'll emulsify much better into the batter and you'll get a better cupcake overall. Let me just move this aside real quick while I whisk together the dry ingredients. It's 2 cups or 280 grams of Kim's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend, the recipe for which is always on my website, a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. All right, we'll come back to that in a minute, but first I need to add in the vanilla to my creamed butter and sugar. And this is 1 tablespoon. And then the star ingredient, the sour cream. This is 1 1/4 cups or 300 grams, and it is also at room temperature, y'all. The sour cream is what makes these cupcakes so soft and fluffy. This is actually my vanilla cupcakes recipe with just a few changes added at the end before baking. So if you've made these and you love them, you will love the churro cupcakes. Okay, I can add the dry ingredients in now, just a little at first. And then dump the rest in, and I'll finish mixing this on low for just like 30 seconds or so. And then I'll just finish mixing the rest of this into the batter by hand. I should have grabbed a bigger spatula, y'all, but you know me. I already started with this one, and I hate to dirty more dishes than I have to, even though my husband does my dishes, and he says he doesn't mind. So, whatever. All right, I've got my cupcake pan that's been lined with cupcake liners. This will make about 20 cupcakes, so you'll actually need 2 pans. And I like to use a cookie scoop for this, but you can also use 2 spoons or whatever you want. And I like to fill them about 3/4 of the way to the top. Not too much or they'll spill over or they won't bake all the way through. And then the final addition that makes them actually churro cupcakes is to sprinkle them with cinnamon and sugar. This is actually a mix that I made up earlier, and I put it in the same cinnamon jar that my cinnamon came from. It's just 1/4 cup or 50 grams of sugar and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I'll sprinkle about maybe 1/2 to a teaspoon all over the top of each of these cupcakes. And we'll bake these at 350 Fahrenheit for 20 to 22 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. And when they come out, y'all, the cinnamon and sugar on top gets all like crackly and crunchy, almost like they've been fried. I need to let these cool in the pan for 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out of the pan and let them cool on the rack completely. And while these are cooling, let's go ahead and make the ganache. Now this is a totally optional thing. You don't have to fill these if you don't want to, but I've got some dark chocolate here. This isn't dark chocolate chips. It's actually Calabo Calettes, which do look like chips, but they're actually top quality like couverture chocolate. And this is 8 ounces or 226 grams. I'll leave a link for this bag, but it is quite expensive, I have to say. So you can always just use any like top quality real chocolate that you can find at the grocery store. And then I have 4 cinnamon sticks, and these are going to infuse into the heavy cream to give that Mexican chocolate vibe. So this is 2/3 cup or 160 ml of heavy cream. And I'll also add in cayenne pepper, also totally optional, just a dash or two. Unless you want the ganache extra spicy, then by all means you can add more if you do. I'll put this over medium-low heat and just let it come to a simmer. See the bubbles coming up around the sides? I'll let this steep now for 30 minutes. Turn the heat off, and then I'm going to warm it back up to a simmer again so that I can melt the chocolate. Now I'll pour it through a sieve over the chocolate, and then I'll discard these cinnamon sticks. I like to give it a minute or so to start like the melting process. So I just like swirl it around a little bit on its own. And then I just slowly whisk it until a smooth ganache forms. Don't go all like haywire on, incorporating a lot of air into it because it could break. I just absolutely love watching ganache go from like cream and chocolate to this ultra like silky smooth concoction that it can tempt anyone. It's just so luscious looking. Okay, I'm going to put this aside for now, and now we'll make the cinnamon buttercream. I'm starting with my regular American buttercream, y'all, which starts with 3 cups or 680 grams of softened butter. And let me just mix this up real quick on its own just to get it nice and smooth. I'll go ahead and add in my vanilla too at this time, which is 2 teaspoons. Let me scrape the sides down real quick. And now I'll add in my pre-sifted powdered sugar. I already sifted this, which is also 680 grams or 6 cups. You'll notice that the amounts by weight of both butter and powdered sugar are exactly the same in my buttercream. All that means is that it's a less sweet buttercream. I think if I were to ask anyone that knows me really well what their favorite things I make are, other than bread, of course, they'd probably say cakes, cupcakes, and frosting in particular. My husband used to say I could make a living off my frosting alone. I don't know about that, but everyone who ever tries, especially my American buttercream, they just die over it. They can't get enough of it. They can't believe it's actually American buttercream because, they're used to that like sickeningly sweet American buttercream. Okay, I just added in 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and I'll pulse this on and off just until that sugar gets in there and doesn't fly all over the place. Let me actually stop and scrape the sides down again too, so all that powdered sugar really gets in there. This is really thick right now, y'all, but pay attention to the color as well. I'm going to increase the speed to like medium high and let this go now for a good like 4 to 5 minutes. So I will see you back here in that time. Okay, it's been 4 minutes now. Let's check on this. I can already tell it's much more fluffy than it began, but it's also lighter in color, right? It's nearly white, y'all. See how fluffy and light and luxurious this looks? Trust me, it is the bomb. The last thing I always do with all of my frostings is I put the mixer on low and just beat the frosting on low for just about like a minute or so. And what that does is it removes a lot of the air bubbles. So it's just much smoother, and it's easier to either like decorate, like smooth the sides of a cake, or for piping, it doesn't have all the air pockets when you go to put it into a pastry bag. Yay, y'all, we can finally put these cupcakes together. I had this little cupcake core thing here that I got a while ago. Can't remember where I got it. It was like just a couple of bucks, but you don't need this. You can use an apple core or even just like a paring knife to cut a hole in the center of the cupcakes like this. And you can either just eat this as it is, this little bit that comes out, or store them in a freezer bag and maybe make cake pops with them later with some of the leftover buttercream. I have a great recipe on my website, y'all, for cinnamon roll cake pops that are to die for. All right, I put my ganache in a disposable decorating bag, and I'll just cut the tip off real quick and then fill these with the ganache. Filling them is a totally optional step. You can just leave them plain, no filling. They're still going to be fantastic. But I just wanted a little extra something something. You could also fill them with dulce de leche if you wanted, like canned dulce de leche. But I always thought chocolate was like the perfect pairing with churros. Okay, I added a closed star tip to my buttercream bag here. I think it's a Wilton 1M. I'll check and make sure, and I'll put a link for it below. And I'm just going to decorate these with it's called a trophy wave. It's something I learned after taking some classes on Craftsy from the Trophy Cupcakes owner. And it's kind of like a 5-point or 6-point star. And you just kind of, I don't know, it looks like a wave, and then you swirl the buttercream on top. Just something different. You can just do a regular swirl, or you don't even have to pipe this on. You can take a cookie scoop and just scoop it on, or a spatula. It doesn't really matter. And I'll take a little of that extra cinnamon and sugar and sprinkle it on each cupcake. And there you have it, y'all. Churro cupcakes. Every bit as good as a churro without all the hassle of frying. But if you're into frying, check out my video for making actual churros, y'all. Enjoy.